She was laying on the sofa, and I remember jumping up, and I remember her coming into my bedroom with her hands held out.
She was feisty, but she just was this lovable, fun, smart girl. She was just that girl.
And she was my only child. My only child.
In the early morning hours of August 26, 2023, the small residential area of Washington Street in Wrens, Georgia, quickly transformed into a scene of chaos and heartbreak. Inside her family's home, 19-year-old Khia Shields, a college sophomore at Georgia Southern University, was asleep on the couch. She was just visiting from school, ready to celebrate her birthday, which was days earlier, with her mother, Shareka Pitts. Around 1 a.m., a single discharge pierced the walls of the house, and in an instant, everything changed. The discharge struck Khia in the chest as she slept. She awoke disoriented and gravely wounded, but instinctively made her way to her mother's bedroom, hands outstretched, barely able to find the words, her voice weak but desperate. Shareka, jolted awake and horrified, saw the red bodily fluids on her daughter, and for a moment, time seemed to stop as she looked into Khia's eyes, seeing both fear and trust. The safe place her daughter had come home to had turned into the last place she would find herself fighting for her life. Pitts called emergency services, and within minutes, Jefferson County deputies, Wrens police officers, and local firefighters arrived, doing everything they could to save Khia. She was rushed to Augusta University Medical Center, where sadly, despite the efforts of medical staff, she was pronounced gone soon after arrival. For Shareka, the night marked an unimaginable loss. Her only child was gone, the victim of a senseless act. Sadly, her last memory of Khia would be of her hands outstretched, reaching for comfort and reassurance in her final moments.
Everybody loved their Khia. She was just this warm person, and they just took her away from me.
An unexpected tragedy, leaving their family in shock.
Never in a million years that I thought that I would be woken up with her saying she was shot. Never.
She grew up on the street, a sudden shift for this calm community.
It's a very quiet neighborhood. I've been here for 41 years, so never had this issue.
Everybody that knew Khia loved her.
It's a great, spirited, beautiful young lady that was just taken from me just too soon.
Who had big plans for her future.
She wanted to be a teacher, but little kids always latched on to her. For some reason, all the kids that she was around, and like her godson, even her cousin, she was just that person that they would latch to, that they would connect with.
And she said she hopes this doesn't happen to anyone else ever again.
Put the guns down. Put the guns down. We have to come as one and as a community and stop this gun violence, because it's getting out of hand, especially for Jefferson County.
Now she is holding her family even closer, but says nothing can replace Khia and the bond they had.
She will be missed, and she was my only child. My only child.
The news of Shields' tragic passing swept through Wrens, leaving the small, close-knit community reeling. The Shields family had lived on Washington Street without incident for many years. Friends, neighbors, and family members, many of whom had watched Khia grow up, were devastated. With the Wrens Police Department and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office on the case, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, was brought in to lead the investigation, a move highlighting the urgency and complexity of the crime. GBI Special Agent Patrick Morgan took the lead on the case and announced that investigators suspected a possible link to gang-related conflicts that had plagued the area in recent months, though it remained unclear whether Khia herself had been the intended target. Morgan remarked that people today were too quick to pick up a firearm to solve a dispute, sentiments the community agreed with. Khia had been her only child, a bright, kind-hearted young woman who had just started her sophomore year at Georgia Southern University with dreams of becoming a teacher. Reflecting on her daughter's vibrant spirit, Pitts described her as someone who naturally connected with children and loved helping others. In the days that followed, the Wrens community rallied around the mother, showing love in both small and meaningful ways. Friends, neighbors, and even former co-workers gathered to honor Khia, creating memorials in her name and offering condolences. Her co-workers at Walmart in Grovetown put together a tribute at the store, showcasing the impact Khia had on those around her. Law enforcement identified a critical piece of evidence, a black Chevrolet Impala suspected of being involved in the drive-by discharge incident that claimed the 19-year-old's life. The vehicle seen in the area around the time of the incident quickly became a focal point in the case as investigators sought any lead that could connect it to the assailant or those who assisted. With limited eyewitness accounts and the community hesitant to speak up out of fear of retaliation, the release of information about the Black Impala was a calculated move. Wrens Police Chief John Maynard and the GBI hoped that revealing this detail along with photos might jog someone's memory or encourage an individual with knowledge to come forward. Nevertheless, leads remained slow and information scarce. In an effort to encourage tips, the Wrens Police Department and a local organization, Young Men United, together offered a reward of $13,000 for information leading to an arrest. The support came as a testament to the community's shared outrage and their determination to bring justice.
Liz walking around and they could be next to me or, it's very hard.
Shareka Pitts wants justice for the murder of her daughter. She tells News Channel 6 the Georgia Southern sophomore celebrated her birthday August 22nd. A few days later, on August 26th, she was back in Wrens enjoying the occasion. She returned to her Washington Street home around midnight and shots rang out at 1 a.m.
She was laying on the sofa and I remember jumping up and I remember her coming into my bedroom with her hands held out and she was like, Mommy, I've been shot.
Khia Shields, an education major who had just graduated from Jefferson County High School in May of 2022 with honors.
I do believe that there's probably some people of interest.
Wrens Chief of Police John Maynard issued this passionate plea via Facebook while visiting his own relatives out of town for the holidays. Simply put, he's urging those involved to come clean.
I think the case is progressing really well. It's just when you take somebody to trial on homicide, you've got to have it right.
Now law enforcement and the nonprofit Young Men United group are raising reward dollars. Pitt says her daughter had no issues with anyone and she wants whoever was involved to speak up.
Please come forward. This is a tragic incident that happened and to bring peace to our family, just come forward. You did the crime and you have to pay for what you did.
In the days following the incident, the community held both a prayer walk and a separate vigil in Khia's honor. Both events highlighted their dedication to standing with the family and seeking justice in her memory. The prayer walk was organized as a show of unity and support, with residents coming together to walk through the neighborhood, offering prayers for Khia and her family, as well as calling for an end to the violence impacting the area. This walk symbolized a collective plea for peace, with community members, local leaders, and friends of the family joining in solidarity.
And Lord, they will bring justice in the name of Christ Jesus.
Several people walked 7 laps, praying that someday their efforts and voices can help save lives.
I don't understand why someone would be so hard-hearted to take someone's life. And I just have a heart for kids because I have 2 kids of my own.
Alicia Davis, who lives in the area, showed up tired of seeing another young life being taken. She says it has to end, but first the action of preventative measures need to begin.
People are looking for a lot of closure, and they just want to know that they have people that's standing behind them.
Saturday morning's walk took everyone in the community in order to start change.
But like the sheriff said, we are all working together. This is not a Jefferson County thing, Wrens thing, GBI thing, DA thing. That's not what it is. That's an us thing.
We've had a rash of violent crimes, murders, shootings on a regular basis. Major drug busts have come through our area, and we're coming together today as a community to demand and let our community know that we're coming together to stop it.
See, I don't know about you, but I didn't come just to come. But I came because I look for a change.
The vigil took place as a dedicated gathering to honor Khia's life. Family, friends, and community members gathered to remember her, share memories, and mourn her loss. Candles were lit and words of comfort and sorrow were shared. These highlighted the impact Khia had on those around her and the deep grief felt by the community. 1 year after the tragic incident, the Wrens community gathered to honor Khia's memory and renew the call for justice. Pitts, who had spent the last year advocating against firearm violence, stood surrounded by solidarity, but the pain remained as fresh as the day she lost her daughter. Community leaders, including the mayor and Wrens Police Chief John Maynard, joined Pitts to show solidarity. In Khia's honor, Pitts shared plans to establish a scholarship aimed at helping local students pursue their own educational dreams. The scholarship would serve as a legacy to Khia's compassion and love for learning, while ensuring that her memory continued to inspire others. After more than a year of relentless pursuit for justice, a significant breakthrough came on October 28, 2024. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and the GBI announced the arrest of 31-year-old Jessie Lewis Brown Jr., a resident of Augusta who was formerly charged in Khia's fatality. The arrest followed crucial developments that had built up steadily over months of the investigation. Remember the Black Impala? While tips were sparse, they provided investigators with new avenues to pursue, guiding them to focus on connections in the Augusta area. Combined with diligent investigative work, authorities finally connected Brown to the vehicle and placed him at the scene. This marked a major turning point in the case, but while this was a stride for law enforcement, they acknowledged the work was not yet over, as they announced that further arrests were anticipated as the investigation continued. When the news of Brown's arrest reached Khia's mother, she expressed a mixture of relief and grief. After months of fear that her daughter's case might remain unsolved, Pitts felt a renewed sense of closure. Shareka envisions Khia's legacy as a source of fight and hope. As the fight for justice presses on, Pitts' story is a reminder of the strength a mother's love can inspire, a love that seeks not only justice, but lasting peace for generations to come. May the family and friends of Khia Shields find solace in the happy memories, and may her soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.